Attention, Taurus, change is coming. What you are about to hear has the power to change your life once and for all, leading you straight to the destiny you rightfully deserve. But be vigilant. If you interrupt yourself midway, get distracted, or don't listen to the end, you'll miss the most important part, the one that will open your eyes to the true state of affairs. Stay here, feel every word, let it pass through you, because this message is addressed specifically to you, Taurus. Take a closer look at your surroundings, because there are huge opportunities around you. They seem to be circling around, looking for you, but something is preventing you from moving at full strength. Perhaps it's laziness, which sometimes clings to you like a shadow. Yes, sometimes it's hard to start, hard to believe that a crazy project, a long-held dream, or a cherished desire can become a reality. But deep down, you know it's possible. After all, if you really want something, with that sacred stubbornness that is inherent in you, you will definitely achieve it. You are not made for half measures, Taurus. You are used to going all in, and now is the time to play big. Taurus must remember their uniqueness and not be like those who try to harm them. Their strength lies not in revenge, but in the ability to remain steadfast and move forward despite difficulties. You shouldn't stoop to the level of offenders, because Taurus is destined for more, namely, for love. Love is already knocking on their door, manifesting itself like a sprout in the spring. Taurus feels this and must take care of this feeling, watering it so that it blooms. It is important to cherish what is sacred, not to leave it unattended, and not to allow love to slip away due to inattention. Ahead of Taurus is a significant trip, possibly abroad, which promises to be a revelation for their mind and soul, capable of changing their outlook on life. This trip may be the very impetus that will help Taurus finally wake up and leave the past behind, opening up to new opportunities. Taurus, representatives of this zodiac sign should remember their inner strength and resilience. Taurus is not pliable clay or fragile cardboard, but rather an indestructible rock, a restrained but powerful fire, and a root that goes deep into the ground. It is time to bring to life the very dream that has been nurtured for years and carefully stored in thoughts. You should not postpone its implementation to an indefinite later, because time, this ruthless and inexorable enemy, can turn against Taurus, exposing all the missed opportunities and lost chances arising from doubts and indecision. Representatives of the sign have to realize all those moments when they put themselves in a dependent position because of love, vainly expected attention, and gave everything without residue to those who gave nothing in return. Such self-sacrifice must be put to an end. Taurians should be vigilant about their surroundings. There may be hypocritical friends nearby who, while smiling in their face, weave intrigues and spread gossip behind their backs. This is not a manifestation of paranoia, but rather the voice of intuition, which Taurians often prefer to ignore. These people only add fuel to the fire when Taurians seek support and protection in them. It is necessary to open your eyes and stop unconditionally trusting those who have not proven their loyalty. And lastly, if Taurus is in a relationship, you shouldn't close your eyes to alarming signals. They are always present, but often ignored. Often, neglecting the basics, the very thing that supports the relationship, can lead to its collapse. If you don't react in time, what is most dear can be lost. Now or never is the motto of this period for Taurians. Taurus, before continuing to read, it is proposed to awaken inner strength and energy. It is recommended to write in the comments a powerful motto that will become a symbol of change and the pursuit of the best. This motto sounds like this: I choose to leave behind what extinguishes me and accept what ignites me. I do not agree to less. I deserve the best and I am going for it. It is important to write these words with full determination and feel them in order to enhance their impact and bring the desired changes closer. Taurians are known for their endurance and ability to support others in difficult times. However, in striving to be a support for others, they often forget about their own needs and well-being. It is time to free yourself from the burden that does not belong to Taurus, emotional baggage, feelings of guilt, and fears that have nothing to do with their true essence. The universe does not require constant strength from Taurus, it calls for sincerity with oneself. For many years, Taurus may have believed that it is enough to be good to keep others, that by giving more, they will receive the same in return, and that by hiding their pain, someone will definitely notice it. However, these expectations were not met. And it's not about the lack of value of Taurus, but about the fact that they were betting on the wrong people. It's time to stop handing your dreams over to those who don't know how to cherish them and to stop seeking refuge where it doesn't exist. Taurus deserves more than being someone's backup plan. Look around and ask yourself an important question: who sees your true essence? Who genuinely rejoices in your successes without feeling envy or diminishing their own worth? Who stays by your side not only in moments of triumph but also in the mundane everyday life when there's no room for celebration and sparkle? It is there, in this simplicity and inconspicuousness, that the truth lies. In those who don't need loud declarations and attention to simply be there. It's time to surround yourself exclusively with such people, those who value you unconditionally. Let the others go their own way. Within you lies a colossal energy, the strength of which you may not even suspect. You have an amazing ability to recover, which can frighten those around you. And, of course, not everyone can handle it. Some are afraid of your light, your inflexibility, your inner strength when you set a goal and resolutely move towards it. That's why they seek to see your doubts, your failures, but their expectations are not destined to come true. Now you realize that your worth is not determined by the choices of other people. Your true worth lies in your decision never to humiliate yourself again. And this person, the one who pretends not to understand, the one who appears only when it suits them, how many more times will you allow them to play with your time, your generosity, and your tenderness? Enough, Taurus. Stop wasting your gold on those who have no idea of the treasure that you are. True love doesn't hurt, it doesn't wound or manipulate. True love elevates, cares, waits, and celebrates you. And you deserve exactly that, no less. Deep within every Taurus lies a cherished dream, perhaps slightly muffled by life's circumstances, but still alive and demanding attention. This dream craves not excuses and fears, but active participation, determination, and faith in one's own strength. The universe has already provided opportunities for its realization, but Taurus needs to take a step forward, without looking back and without fearing possible failures. After all, every forward movement, even the most hesitant, brings them closer to that version of themselves that is just waiting for its moment. On this path, there is a need to carefully choose one's circle of acquaintances. It is important to consciously decide with whom to share your energy, to whom to open your soul in moments of joy and sorrow. After all, it is these decisions that shape one's future destiny. The people that Taurus lets into their life or, conversely, lets go of will determine the direction of their future. Therefore, the choice should be made guided by self-love, respect, and awareness of one's own worth. Taurus should no longer hide and bear the burden of emotional heaviness. It's time to straighten their shoulders, take a deep breath, and set their sights on the future. After all, what is coming is not just a series of events, but the long-awaited fulfillment of desires that they have been striving for all their lives. But in order to accept this gift of fate, one must be ready with an open soul, healed wounds, and a heart full of life and hope. When instability appears in a relationship, when the inner voice persistently signals trouble, it is extremely important to listen to oneself. One should not drown out these alarming signals with rationalizations and excuses, because often it is precisely what a person stubbornly refuses to notice that requires close attention and resolution. A person deserves sincere, wholehearted love, not half-hearted feelings, careless treatment, and attempts to hide or put the relationship on hold. A person is not a backup option, but an unconditional presence, confidence, and devotion, and their deep, sincere love deserves an equal response. The sharpest pain lies not in the events that occur, but in the fact that a person allows them to occur. This realization is familiar to everyone whose heart holds invisible but palpable scars, wounds that do not bleed but continue to ache. How many times have you had to remain silent in order not to disturb the fragile balance? How many times have you held back tears, clenched your teeth, and put on a smile in order to maintain the appearance of well-being that had already been violated? It's time to stop being silent and hiding what is gnawing from within, because silence suppresses and extinguishes the inner light, and everyone is born to shine. The time has come to voice your anxieties, grievances, and what is suffocating you, not in order to unleash conflict or accuse, but in order to free yourself and open up space for something new. By continuing to hide the truth, a person deprives the universe of the opportunity to provide them with what is truly meant for them, something greater, more valuable, and filled with love. There is a widespread belief that Taurians are not inclined to deviate from their commitments. On the contrary, they fully dedicate themselves to the cause. However, like fertile soil that needs rest, rain, and sunshine, Taurus also needs a break. It seems the typical Taurus has long neglected this need, putting off moments of rest, pleasure, and joy to please others. The question arises, how long will this continue? Won't it lead to complete exhaustion? If Taurus expects certain circumstances to change on their own, whether it's a relationship, a connection, or a situation, now is the time to take responsibility. The changes they're waiting for won't come from the outside, they must come from within, from their own decisions, from the moment they say to themselves, I don't want this anymore. It's important to note that this isn't selfishness, but a pure form of self-love, capable of saving them from burnout. There's a new vibration in the air, pushing them to act, urging them to move forward. Revelations and truths are coming that Taurus may not expect. It may be painful, but also liberating. Some things must go to allow others to grow. Don't cling to what no longer resonates with your inner world, don't insist where there is no response. It's important to listen to your body, because it also sends signals, expressing what the soul is silent about. Fatigue, constant tension, and the feeling of being at the limit of your capabilities, all this has meaning. Taurus needs a break, a moment of honesty with themselves. They should ask themselves what continuing in the same vein will lead to, and answer themselves sincerely, not ignoring their intuition. Premonitions that have long lingered, the feeling that something is wrong, that someone is not who they seem, that something more is hidden behind smiles, all this is not a sign of madness or exaggeration. Taurus clearly feels the situation, and although facing the truth may be painful, it's better than living in deception. Taurus has a unique ability to transform reality, imbuing the ordinary with extraordinary features. However, to realize this potential, they need to surround themselves with people whose presence doesn't deplete, but enriches their inner world, who inspire them to move forward, not hold back their development, who offer support and warmth, not seek to exploit them. Finding and maintaining such connections is a daily challenge that requires a conscious approach to choosing your environment. It's important to remember that permission is a powerful tool of creation, and Taurus needs to avoid situations where actions are dictated by fear, not a desire for growth. Life presents Taurus with a choice, offering two paths. One leads to familiar but unpromising comfort, to repeating established patterns of behavior and illusory security. The other path, on the other hand, evokes a sense of uncertainty and even dizziness with novelty and complexity, but it's precisely this path that can satisfy the deepest aspirations of the soul. The question is, will they have the courage to take this step? Taurus must realize that waiting for the perfect moment to act can lead to missed opportunities. Perfection is an unattainable ideal, while a decision is a reality that can be brought to life. When a choice is made with conviction, circumstances begin to align favorably, because the universe responds not to fear, but to confidence. This confidence, which may seem distant now, is actually hidden inside Taurus, in that corner of the soul that still holds faith, dreams, and feels excitement, imagining a different future. It's necessary to nurture this spark, protect it, and listen to it, because it's from this seemingly forgotten seed that something new will sprout. This new thing is already approaching Taurus's life, but it needs an active stance, a willingness to say, enough, to everything that no longer brings benefit, and a bold, yes, to new opportunities that previously only aroused fear. Something new is maturing inside Taurus, a certain inner dynamic. This feeling permeates their being, although they may not yet have defined its nature. New energy, productive anxiety, and a burning need to break free from the shackles of the outdated, that's what drives them. There comes a moment when the soul tires of endlessly maintaining the status quo, when further remaining in the same state becomes unbearable. This turning point has come for Taurus now, and it may cause fear, because leaving the comfort zone is always associated with dizziness. However, it's much worse to remain in a situation that suppresses, exhausts, and causes hidden pain. The price of seeming comfort is often prohibitively high, the loss of one's own freedom. Taurus was not created for imprisonment in emotional cells, for conclusion in invisible contracts that deprive them of air, for tacit agreements that force them to silently swallow insults. Enough. It's time to set clear and firm boundaries. With love, of course, but also with unwavering self-confidence. Love without boundaries turns into self-sacrifice, and Taurus should not sacrifice themselves for someone else's love. Someone who truly loves them respects their opinion, listens to their words, accepts them as they are, doesn't make them feel guilty for refusing, and doesn't force them to choose between themselves and that person. Taurus is beginning to realize this simple truth. For Taurus, a period of significant changes is coming in the realm of interpersonal relationships. The breaking of some bonds is not an accident, but a natural process of cleansing initiated by the universe itself. These changes are designed to prepare the ground for further growth and development. It is important to gratefully accept the experience gained in past relationships and let them go in order to make room for new, more promising connections. If Taurus does not get rid of the burden of the past, they will not be able to let new opportunities into their lives. Healthier, more sincere, and freer relationships await them. Undoubtedly, this process will be associated with painful experiences, because Taurians are not inclined to easily part with the past. However, this pain is necessary, like the pain in muscles after an intense workout or like the sensation of a healing wound. This pain is not destructive, it transforms, preparing Taurus for new achievements. During this period, Taurus may experience increased sensitivity and susceptibility to what is happening. Do not suppress these feelings, on the contrary, you need to listen to them, because they will become a compass indicating the right direction. Sensitivity is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of courage that allows you to experience emotions. If there is a temptation to return to the past, to the familiar, but no longer satisfying, you should stop, take a deep breath, and remember the price of the current progress. You shouldn't go back to where Taurus can no longer be themselves. Fear of the unknown should not make them cling to outdated versions of themselves, because the future holds something much more beautiful than everything that is left behind. Taurus is the embodiment of abundance and unwavering stability, but their essence extends far beyond that. They are the personification of passionate desire, refined pleasure, and captivating beauty. Their mission on this earth is not to lead a miserable existence, but to fully taste all the joys of being, enjoying every moment with genuine intensity, creating with deep meaning, and giving boundless love to others. Taurus should not fade, dim their brightness, or hide in the shadows. Their soul is awakening, and this awakening shakes the very foundations of their existence. What they previously patiently endured now causes them sharp pain. What they used to accept meekly now evokes a storm of indignation in them. What they preferred to remain silent about now bursts out in a deafening cry. And this is perfectly normal, because they are in the process of transformation, making a conscious choice in favor of themselves. And this, it is worth admitting, is the bravest act they are capable of. Taurus should not languish waiting for the perfect moment or hoping that someone will come and save them from all troubles. The only one who can rescue them from the place where they feel unhappy is themselves. And they have everything they need for this. Absolutely everything. They just need to believe in their own strength, feel this confidence in every cell of their body, say it out loud, look at their reflection in the mirror and say firmly, enough. Now it's my time. If there is a feeling of loneliness on the life path, do not panic. This is not a punishment from fate, but rather a valuable space for self-analysis and reflection. This pause is necessary to prepare for the arrival of something new and significant, allowing you to avoid repeating past mistakes and scenarios with other actors. This is a time to heal from deeply rooted emotional wounds, so that when true love knocks on the door, the person will meet it not wounded and patched up, but whole and radiant. For Taurus, this is a period of rebirth. And although this process may seem difficult and painful, it marks the beginning of a new life. Everything that happens next will depend on the decisions made in the present. Therefore, it is necessary to open your heart and soul, preparing to accept what has long awaited its hour. Taurus has reached an important point in their life. If they have carefully followed every word and allowed every phrase to penetrate their consciousness, they will realize that this was not just reading, but a real journey. This journey did not begin today and will not end now, because what has been activated inside cannot simply be extinguished. It is natural to experience excitement and emotional pain, because this indicates the coming changes. A person comes into this world not to be a mere bystander, but to play a leading role, make choices, build their own destiny, and love with all their heart, without limitations or conditions. However, it's equally important to set boundaries, say no, close doors, and let go of the past with your head held high, even if your heart is shattered into pieces. True strength lies in the ability to continue shining even after falls and disappointments. Taurus faces the need to make a decision about further actions, considering all the feelings, realizations, and inner awakenings experienced. There are no more excuses or possibilities to ignore the changes that have occurred, as they have become a reality that cannot be denied. Representatives of this zodiac sign realize how often they neglected their own interests, suppressed important statements, and settled for less out of fear of loss. However, this period is coming to an end, and a new chapter begins in which Taurus puts themselves first, sets their own rules, and refuses to abide by others' decisions. This path will not be easy or perfect, but it will belong to Taurus entirely, with all its difficulties, achievements, moments of joy, and tears of liberation. This is precisely the process of growth, awakening, and rebirth that Taurus is finally ready for. It's time to rise in all your fullness, body, soul, and spirit. Taurus should look at themselves in a new light, with respect, pride, and tenderness, acknowledging the courage shown in facing themselves, something many don't dare to do. This is a significant and admirable achievement. On the eve of a new chapter in life, Taurus must make a firm promise to themselves. They should swear that they will never return to places where they once experienced pain, that they will not tolerate the unbearable, or debase themselves by begging for love, attention, or respect. It's important to promise yourself that every subsequent step will be directed forward, even if this progress is slow and uncertain. The main thing for Taurus is not speed, but the right direction. On this path, they will meet new people, discover breathtaking landscapes, and experience unknown emotions. Ahead lies a meeting with a new version of themselves, one they are not yet aware of, but who is already waiting for them beyond the zone of fear. Fear, of course, will not disappear completely, but it will significantly diminish as soon as Taurus decides to move forward, no matter what. Now is the moment of truth for Taurus. They feel it in their gut. It's important not to let this moment fade, not to let it dissolve into everyday routine. It's necessary to maintain the fire that has been lit in their soul. They should tirelessly cultivate it, listen to themselves whenever necessary, and feel themselves, because they are their own best guide. And now, as the narrative comes to an end, the author would like to ask Taurus one question. A sincere, deep question that only they can answer, placing their hand on their heart. What is it that they know they should let go of, but still hesitate to do? Let them share it in the comments, not keep it to themselves, because sometimes, just voicing it begins the process of freeing oneself from this burden. And let them know that they are not alone. They are accompanied by a powerful energy that listens and supports them. And if everything said above touched their soul, if even one word resonated within them like in a mirror, then they should subscribe to Taurus, Green Horoscope, because this is just the beginning. And then Taurus will shine as brightly as never before.